not sorry. Yeah. Though it hurts, I only wish you blessings. When intuition talks, you gotta listen. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. 'Cause you build me up to break me down. Never respect the love you found. And I had a voice inside the back of my mind. I always knew it deep down. You don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh, no looking back this time. 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 Running from the truth was getting reckless. In your arms I never felt protected. Oh. 'Cause you don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh. No looking back this time. 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 No looking back this time.
Can everybody hear me okay? Can you let me know? I've got a new setup. I have a new setup. Evening, everybody. I hope you are well. I took your advice and I got a microphone stand. Am I still muted? Right. Right, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Brilliant. Okay. I took your advice and I got a microphone stand. So I'll be talking through a microphone now, and I hope it sounds okay. Hope it sounds better than sounding like I was in a toilet. So we're all good. Lots and lots of you in the house, which is great. If you can hit the like and subscribe, that would be absolutely amazing. Really appreciate it. What I did want to do is I wanted to do a quick shout out before I start. Thanks for Match Bingo for sponsoring the show today. You can get your bingo cards using the QR code, which is on the screen now. I just wanted to let you know that there's a game on Wednesday, which is PSG Tottenham. You can get your bingo cards for this. I've just got one. It's £2 for a card. If you buy 4, you get 1 free. And if you spend £5, you get £10 worth of bingo cards. There's 18 people in there right now, and the jackpot prize is £100 right now. I played at the weekend with Liverpool, and I actually won. Even though Liverpool didn't win, I actually won. And I won £8. It was like £9 I won. I got 2 lines for my bingo card. So I won, but Liverpool didn't win, unfortunately. And as you can see there in yellow, they're my 2 lines that I won. So I bet £2 and I won it £9 back, which is great. But I just wanted to let you know that I've got my bingo card for Paris Saint-Germain Tottenham. That'll be an interesting game. And I've also got my bingo card for Liverpool Bournemouth. And right now for Liverpool Bournemouth, there are 16 people who've got their cards. So get amongst it and use the QR code. If you do use the QR code, it's connected to me. So I will see that you've actually scanned the QR code, and gamble responsibly. Thanks, Match Bingo, for sponsoring my show today. Okay, now let's get on with the show. I really didn't like doing the watch along. It's not really something that I like doing, so I'm not really sure whether I'm going to do another watch along again. I just want to let you know that I know there was a few people that did join the watch along, and there was about 30 to 40 people in it the whole time. But it's not really something that I feel like I'm going to do again. I get too emotional watching a game, and I also forget to talk because I'm watching the game. So I don't really know whether I'm going to do a watch along again. But what I will do is I will do a match preview and a match review for Liverpool. And I am looking at also doing a Premier League review, maybe in the middle of the week on a Wednesday. I might do like a half an hour show where I do some news and then I do a review of all of the games that were played. And we can talk about, if you want to talk about fantasy football, you can as well. I'm involved in a couple of fantasy football leagues, so we can also include that in the show. Because obviously transfer window will be shut and there won't be any news to talk about. So we definitely need to work on our Liverpool content, and why not stretch that out to Premier League content as well. So maybe we can look at that and see how it goes there. Okay. Whoever just scanned the QR code, thank you very much. Absolute legend. I hope you are a winner. I hope you get full house with your first dabble on it. Okay, I got 2 lines on my first one and won 25 quid. So it can work. Like, it can definitely work. There's loads and loads of stuff you can do on it as well. You don't just have to do football. You do cricket. You can do darts. There's all kinds of other bingos you can do on it, just to let you know. Okay, right. I was on a couple of shows talking about Liverpool recently, and I think that Liverpool are going to cook this season. Okay, I truly do. Like, I truly believe that Liverpool are going to cook. Like, I do think there's going to be an amazing amount of chances and goals and creation, and there's going to be lots of incredible stuff about Liverpool this season. I really do believe it. But I do feel like Liverpool might be a little bit like PSG to start the season, finding their feet a bit. Maybe some of the players not quite being in the right positions. Maybe there needs a little bit of work that needs to be done. But if you remember what happened with PSG almost dropped out of the Champions League. They were poor in many games. They got beaten by Arsenal, and then they just clicked. There was a fire that was lit. There was something that happened with PSG where it all just came together. And now look at them. They won the Champions League. They won their league in a canter. And I know they got beat in the final in the Club World Cup, but they still got to the final in the Club World Cup. And they are a team that everybody wants to be like. Like, there's a lot of people that are talking about, oh, I wish our manager played football like this. I wish we had these players that PSG have got. And it just clicked. I feel like with Liverpool, the same could happen. It might take a little bit of time. I think we need to be a little bit patient with the way the team is, because we played a game against Crystal Palace on a Wembley pitch that we don't like playing on that pitch. It's not a good pitch for Liverpool. It's too wide. It's a big pitch. We've never played really well on it. It's a fact. It is a fact. Like most of our wins have been on penalties on that pitch. Like, that's how bad we've been at Wembley. So you look at Crystal Palace. None of their players have left. They've kept their entire squad together, which played pretty much most of last season. There's a couple of players here and there which are on the bench, which came on, which have done that many times last season. That was their biggest game. After the FA Cup final, where they beat Manchester City, by the way, they beat Manchester City in the FA Cup final. That was their biggest game. That's their biggest game this season, coming. It is. Like now that they're in the Europa Conference League, there is a chance that they might go far in that league. But if they were in the Europa League, there's a chance that they might not have gone that far, because they're Crystal Palace. Okay? They have their limitations. Anyway, that was a much bigger game to Palace than it was to Liverpool. And we also have to look at a couple of other things as well. Crystal Palace didn't have to introduce any new players into their squad for that game. None. Nobody was new. Nobody was new in midfield, or new on the wing, or new as left back or right back. All of these things. None of that happened with Palace. That was the exact same team that played Manchester City at Wembley a couple of weeks ago and won. Exactly the same team. Liverpool had 4 new players in that team. Okay, we had 4 new players on the pitch. 4 new players that had never played for Liverpool in a competitive competition before. 4. Not only that, we lost 2 of our starting midfielders. So we didn't have McAllister, and we didn't have Gravenberch either. So we had 4 new players in Kerkez, Frimpong, Wirtz and Ekitike, who've never kicked the ball in anger for Liverpool in a competitive competition. And you also take Alexis McAllister, who's your conductor in midfield. He's the guy that controls the game in midfield. And Gravenberch, who's your defensive midfielder in the pivot, who gives cover for Virgil. He gives cover for Konate. He also gives cover for Frimpong if we need to. And he can also break forward as well. You're missing those 2 players, and you're introducing 4 new players. That's the biggest difference. That's the piece that nobody's talking about. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about how difficult it is to integrate 4 new players into your squad like that and rip out your entire midfield and replace it with 2 number 10s that played the majority of their games last season in the number 10 role. Dominic Szoboszlai never played as a number 8 last season. Curtis Jones very rarely played as a number 8 last season. They both played as number 10s pretty much most of last season. Curtis did a little bit of work when McAllister was banned for a few games, but the majority of their work was at number 10. You're now taking them out of the number 10 position and going, right, lads, go and do a job in the number 8. And by the way, Curtis, you're going to be on number 6. Okay, boss. How's that going to work? You ain't going to be able to just do that at a whim, especially when Ryan Gravenberch has been playing all of pre-season. All of pre-season, Ryan Gravenberch has been the DM. And then if Ryan Gravenberch came off, Wataru Endo came in, or Trey Naoni came in. So you're taking away one of the most important pieces in the entire team, which is Ryan Gravenberch. He was the same last season. Him and McAllister were so important last season to how Liverpool played. They just were. So you're taking them away and you're replacing them with Dominic Szoboszlai, who played as a number 10 last season, but he's been all right in the number 8 this season, and then Curtis Jones. That midfield was gone. That midfield was lost. The battles weren't won. The possession was not there. Like, it wasn't there in the game. You had Adam Wharton, who bossed the game. He was absolutely sensational. Should have been sent off though, but he was good. And then you've also got Kamada, who was good until he went off injured. And then he brought on Will Hughes, who was really good when he came on. And then you're trying to integrate 4 new players who Frimpong was sensational going forward and back. Kerkez, he was good going forward, but he wasn't great at the back because you had a situation where Crystal Palace overloaded the attack in the midfield with an extra man, and Cody Gakpo didn't track back enough. He had a poor game. He had a very poor game. And I'm a big fan of Cody, but he had a poor game. Took a good penalty, but he had a poor game. And then you've got Kerkez, who had to keep on tucking in as the third centre-back, which is something he's never done before. So you're throwing huge amounts of change at Liverpool and players and going, look, I know he's not here. He's not there. You've got to do this job. You've got to do that job. That's a big change. There was a lot of change in the Liverpool team. And the fact that for the first 30 minutes, we looked sensational. Like, I was off my seat with some of the work and the passing and the interchanging and the flicks and the tricks. And there was a 28 pass move that got to our first goal. 28 passes that went through 7 players, 7 different players in the team before Ekitike scored. That never happens. That doesn't happen. That's not how we play football. That's not how we played football for years. We don't have that flow. That flow's never been there. There's chaos. There's not flow. And I could see the flow. I could see the team being able to control and move the ball around and get the ball into different areas and players to have one touches and dribbles here and there. And it looked unbelievable for the first 30 minutes. And then the midfield was overrun and we started to get caught out. It's teething problems. Doesn't mean that we're bad. Doesn't mean that we're not good enough. Doesn't mean that the players aren't great. The best players in the game were the new players, which, if that's the bar that you're setting, Arnie, if that is how high the bar you are setting at Liverpool is, Arnie Slot, that all of your players that you've signed are at a higher level than the current squad that was left to you by Jurgen, that's the manager I want. That's the direction I want to go in. If that's what you're setting us in a game of that level, where your worst players were your captain, Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah was dreadful. Make no bones about it, he was dreadful in this game. Yeah. Curtis Jones was awful. Dominic Szoboszlai didn't have a great game. Cody didn't have a great game. And Konate made quite a lot of mistakes. All of those players weren't your signings, Arnie. And that's what I'm trying to make. And I tried to make that point on another show. And people were like, oh, so you're saying Mo and Virgil's washed? No, I'm not saying Mo and Virgil's washed. But what I'm saying is, if what we're seeing is Arnie Slot's players playing at a higher standard in games than the current crop of players, then that is the direction I want to go in. That's the direction I want to head in. Kirkhead's positioning wasn't good. Totally get that. Totally get that. He's never played as a centre-back, and he had to tuck in as a centre-back. He had to. And that's what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to get at, is the calibre of player that we've signed are looking better than the current crop. That's all I'm seeing. I'm seeing this with my eyes from the last couple of games. Okay? This may be different in the Premier League. This may be a case of, oh, the boys turn up. Like, the boys turn up. Like, Virgil gets his mojo back. Like, Konate doesn't stop doing that stupid run where he goes over to the right-hand side, thinking that Trent's not there. When Frimpong stood there, that needs to stop. Like, that's muscle memory. Maybe things are different when Gravenberch and McAllister in the midfield. But Jones was awful. Like, he didn't have a great game. Didn't do anything. Like, he did nothing in the game. I can't remember anything he did in the game. He was there, but I can't remember him doing anything. Dominic Szoboszlai gave the ball away countless times in midfield. He had the energy, but there's nothing else there. Cody wasn't great. Cody missed a big chance. Like, just put the ball in the net, mate. You're virtually on the goal line. And that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying any of the players are washed. I'm not saying we're going to have a bad season. But all I'm saying is, if your first competitive game, Arnie Slot's new signings looked better than the previous crop of players that have just won the league, then I'm telling you, that's the direction I want to head in. That's the direction I want to head in. Let Arnie buy more players. Let him get his Guehi. Let him get his Isaac. Let him get whoever he wants. I don't care. Like, because if that's the calibre that you're giving me, because Ekitike was absolutely sensational. When him and Wirtz left the pitch, nothing happened. Like, nothing happened. Him and Wirtz left the pitch. Liverpool didn't have another shot in anger. Like, we didn't. Like the biggest chance in the game was Wirtz's. Like, he could have passed the ball into the net. I've seen Wirtz do that. Just skim the ball into the net, into the far corner. He had a really good chance to win the game, but he missed and he spooned it over the bar. And then Liverpool did nothing the entire game then. And we conceded a goal and we could have conceded another two if it wasn't for Alisson and if it wasn't for Kirkhead with a brilliant block. And that's the difference. That's all I'm saying. I'm not digging on the team. I'm not saying they're washed. I'm not saying they're not going to be great. But if that's the calibre of play you're giving me, Arnie, they've been with the club about 3 weeks, most of them. You're giving me that. You're giving me Ekitike with a goal in the first 4 minutes. You're giving me Wirtz with a goal and an assist already. You're giving me Frimpong with an unbelievable chip or fluke or cross or whatever it was. You're giving me that. Like, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm trusting what you're signing. And if you want to go and spend 130 million on Alexander Isak, go and spend 130 million on Alexander Isak. I don't care. If that's the guy you want, if you're putting all your eggs in the Isak basket, then put him in the basket. I don't mind. I don't mind. If we have to wait 6 months for Isak, I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I will wait 6 months for Isak. If that's who you want, and if you feel there's no one else that can do what you want them to do, then I'll wait 6 months. I'll wait the 6 months like we did with Virgil and watch the price drop and watch Newcastle panic. And then we go back in January and we get him for the money that we originally bid, probably. But I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. But we definitely need a centre-back. We definitely need a centre-back. At the moment, we have Virgil and Canate. And that's it. Joe Gomez still isn't fit. I can't have Andy Robertson even being on the pitch. Like, he came onto the pitch and he was all over the place. Like, he passed the ball to the opposition, then chased all the way up the pitch to the opposition where he passed it, and then they then kicked it over his head and they were clean through if it hadn't have gone out for a throw. And that was Andy Robinson. That was all Andy Robinson did in the first, in like 10 minutes on the pitch, 10, 15 minutes on the pitch. And for me, people have written them off, and I don't know why. Like, and I've said this on a couple of shows. Do not sleep on Manchester City. Like, they are going to be back. They're going to be back. Like, it's inevitable. It's absolutely inevitable. They will be back. I was looking at Manchester City. They had the best points total in 2025. Like, they still finished third. Like, and they had an absolute shocker where they lost 7 in a row and drew a load of games. They'll be back. They will be there. I'm telling you, they will be there. And if they get Rodrigo and Xavi Simons, then we've got to be careful, because if they sell Savinio to Tottenham for 50 million, who they paid, I don't know, 26 million for or something from their club that they own, then they're going to buy Robinho. They had Robinho. They're going to buy Rodrigo, and that's going to be a problem, because they shift Savinio off and they shift Jack Grealish off to Everton. Honestly, don't sleep on Manchester City. They are going to be right up there with us. Right up there with us. Right up there with us. Anyway, let's crack on with the show. So I just wanted to talk about that, because I think it's important that we don't get too down in the dumps about a pre-season friendly. Yeah, don't get too down in the dumps about it. And also be excited, because 4 of our new players cooked. They cooked. They looked great. They really did. Like, their numbers were great, honestly. Like, you can say whatever you want about Kerkez. You can say whatever you want about Kerkez, but the actual fact is Virgil van Dijk was at fault for both goals. If Virgil doesn't make those 2 mistakes, the game's 2-0. The game's 2-0. Like, it is literally 2-0. Like one of the mistakes in the build up to the first goal was Canate came out of his defence, out of the penalty box, to chase down a player, and the player passed the ball to the guy that was stood next to him. So then Canate was out of position, and then Virgil had to then come out of the box. And whether he tripped him up or not is irrelevant. Like, I thought it was a penalty at the time. Maybe other times it wouldn't be a penalty. And the other one was, like, I'm sorry, but Will Hughes pulled down Gapco by his arm. It's a foul all day long. Like, how many times have you seen it happen in the penalty box? And the commentators go, if that happens anywhere else on the pitch, it's a foul. Well, guess what? It happened in the middle of the park. It was a foul. And Verge just wasn't quick enough to get in front of their player to stop him from passing the ball. If that was McAllister or Gravenberch, Adam Wharton wouldn't have been able to pass the ball. Adam Wharton wouldn't have been able to pass the ball because defensively, they're switched on enough to go, hang on a minute, there's a situation here. I'm going to stand in front of the ball, or I'm going to kick the ball away and I'm going to get a yellow card or something. But Vert he's more offensive minded that he just walked and he didn't see it. Like he didn't see the intent that there was a ball that was going to get played through. And then Virgil was out of position because Konate was looking at another man. Virgil had two players on him, and then because Gapco got pulled down, meant that the runner, the Gapco chasers back with, who's Munez, is now running forward, and Kirkes has got Munez and Sarr to mark. And Virgil's going for Mateta, which is why Sarr goes past Virgil. And it is what it is. And it was a brilliant finish. Like, it was a brilliant finish by Sarr. It really was. And we also have to talk about the fact that Crystal Palace are a good team. like have we all forgotten that the reason why we lost the league 2 years ago is because of Crystal Palace at home? Have we all forgotten about that game? Like, we all forgotten that we got beaten at home by Palace. Like, and also last season we drew to Palace. Have we all forgotten about that? Like, and the season before that, it was 2-2. Like, Palace are a good team. Like, they get results, and they've always been a Liverpool bogey team. They've always been a Liverpool bogey team, Palace. And the fact that they've now got a manager who can win trophies. Like, this guy has won trophies. Like, he's won European competitions. Oliver Glasner is a very good manager. And they had a wobble last season at the start of the season under him, but then they picked up. They picked right up. And they'll be a good team. They'll be a good team this season. They're not a bad team. Like, there's no sense in shame or feeling that we were outplayed or anything like that. Like, we drew 2-2. Like, all that's happened under Slot is we've lost to Nottingham Forest, Chelsea in a pointless game because we'd already won the league, yeah, and then Newcastle. That's all we've done. We've lost 3 games. The other 2 that we lost, PSG on penalties and Crystal Palace on penalties. That's it. 5 games that have ended up with defeats, and 2 of them. Okay, PSV. We can talk about PSV as well. We lost against PSV, but we'd already won the Champions League. League. So okay, 4 games. Okay, 4 games he's lost. He's actually physically lost 4 games in 90 minutes, and then the other 2 he lost on penalties. We lost away to Brighton. Did we? I thought we drew that game. Did we lose away to Brighton? Did we? Okay. All right, 5 games then. And 2 of them we'd already won the league. We won the league though, hadn't we? We'd won the league already. So we lost games when we won the league. Okay, so do you really think we'd have lost those games? You really think we'd have lost those games? Like, if we'd have been fighting for the league? No. The biggest problem with Liverpool, and I've said this on another show, we have had less pre-season games than we normally have. I think we've had 3 less pre-season games than we normally have, and that's down to Slot. Slot doesn't want to have a huge amount of pre-season games. That's not how he does things. So that's why we played 2 games in one day. That's the reason why. And that's it. But at the end of the day, is that going to help us in the long run? Probably probably going to help us in the long run, because we're not going to be as tired. So we might have a stronger first 11 to go longer in games, because we haven't had a massive pre-season. Like, we haven't gone and played a load of nonsense games. Like Manchester United, Manchester City and that, we're playing random games in random places, like straight after. And a lot of teams also went to the Club World Cup, and we didn't do that at all. Like, we didn't do that at all. So we'll benefit for that. Okay, so I've had a 30-minute chat about that. So let's now get into some of the news. Okay. So first of all, I've got loads of stuff that I want to show you. First of all, this one's really nice to see. So Liverpool revealed which player names have been the most popular on the back of their new shirts. Florian Wirtz has claimed top spot, and Diogo's number 20 is the second most popular. LFC also announced that all the club profits from the sale of Diogo Jota's 20 shirt will be donated to the LFC Foundation to launch a new community football program named after Diogo. That's just classy. That's just classy. That is such a classy thing from Liverpool. So that's really good. Really good. Obviously, next game, 8 o'clock, Friday. Virgil did a little chat after the game, and basically said that we need an attacker and we also need a defender. And he also said that we need to remember like how good we were. And he also, I'm also glad that, Virgil makes a couple of mistakes every season. Like, we all know this. And it looks like he's kind of got them out of his system straight away in this game, which I think is great. Also, it looks like Kostas Tsimikas is going to be on his way out of Liverpool. Paul Joyce has said that Nottingham Forest are keen on him. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we don't need three left backs, and maybe if we can get a bit of money for him, that would be good. He's just not been good enough for Liverpool. I'm sorry, like, he's just not a good enough player for Liverpool, if you ask me. Little bit of news on Guehi. Liverpool are expected to hold talks this week. For Mark Guehi, Crystal Palace defender is a key defensive target for the Anfield club, with much of the groundwork already in place. You also have Steve Parish that's come out and said that he's got 20 days, basically. Like, he either signs a new contract or they sell him. So this is just about chicken, really. Now it's about how long you can wait, and I think this one will probably go right down to the wire, just like this one. It feels like the options for Newcastle are very thin on the ground after they missed out on Benjamin Sesko. So we think as the days go on, it's becoming increasingly likely Isaac remains a Newcastle player in this window. That's what he says. But then you have other people, and Fabrizio Romano, by the way. 100% this will happen. So many people are convinced this will happen. Fabrizio Romano is also pretty convinced this will happen as well. Liverpool maintain their confidence in trying to make the deal for Alexander Isak happen. Their interest remains concrete for the Swedish international. For sure, a story will follow in the next few days. Indy also dropped us yesterday. Bidding coming in within the 72 hours. He mentioned that the official bid is set to be submitted within the next 72 hours. Get ready for some serious fireworks. a lot of people are saying that it's 125 million. There is something which I can show you here, which is where is it? Hang on a minute. Ben Jacobs. So we've got a couple of things here. So you've got Ben Jacobs. Liverpool haven't walked away from Alexander Isak, and the saga is not over yet. But LFC only want to bid again if Newcastle make it clear they're not wasting their time. Yeah, we'll be here for this one, mate. We'll be here for this one. We'll be here for that bomber. I'm confident because we've sold Nunes. Like it just seems like an odd sale to sell Nunes, and also Chiesa's probably going to go as well. So it just seems like an odd sale. It really does. Like, and this is also from Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk believes there is still scope for the Reds to strengthen an attack. Like, well, we just lost Darwin. He went to Saudi, and we lost Lucio. Obviously, he went to Bayern. I think there's room for an attacker in order to strengthen us. Let's see what the window brings in terms of balance to the team. Virgil knows what's going on. Like, Virgil and Mo said that Liverpool promised them a big summer. Well, they've already delivered a lot of it. And then you've got the likes of Lewis Steele talking about Crystal Palace, Steve Parish, basically saying Liverpool remain keen and set to hold further talks this week. They don't want to overpay for the player who's out of contract soon. Liverpool are going to get Mark Guehi for what they want to get Mark Guehi for. He's probably going to cost 35 million, which is the number which has always been touted around. I believe we went in at 29 million, but that got rejected. I think this one's going to happen. So this was what Steve Parish actually said. Admitted they have to sell Mark Guehi if he doesn't sign a new contract. We'd have to do that, of course, said Steve Parish about extending the contract. For players of that calibre to leave on a free, it's a problem for us, unfortunately. Joachim Anderson went to Fulham last summer and we couldn't afford to lose both. We then had another bid for Guehi in January, but it was a different situation. So he's probably kicking himself that he didn't sell Guehi for 75 million to Spurs. But it is what it is. And he's probably going to lose him to Liverpool for 35. Like, that's probably what's going to happen. And there's all kinds of mad stuff around Guehi and, like, being involved with Liverpool. Like Arnie Slot shaking hands with him before the game. Like, that's a mad one. Like, don't see that happen very often. But it's an interesting one. And Ben Jacobs has also said Liverpool still expected to sign a centre-back. Feeling since May was it would always be a late window addition. Okay, so that's Ben Jacobs basically saying Guehi's probably going to be a last-minute signing. We're probably going to shake him down. We're probably going to shake down the price. The Leone stuff is there, but I just don't know because I don't know whether Liverpool will pay 35 million for an 18-year-old kid. But Plettigol said Leone's high on the list. Should the Mark Guehi fall through, it's possible LFC will push for him. Well, Mark Guehi isn't going to fall through because we know how much they want for him. So I think it's Mark Guehi, and then potentially we go for Leone next year. But it's one or the other for me. I don't think we sign both. I just don't see it. And Chris Bashcombe today, teenager Rio Gigmoa is one for the future. Even if his Premier League breakthrough is edging closer, he believes that he could have a part to play this season. I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't bring him on for the last 15 minutes. Like, Muniz had done so many runs forward that he must have been knackered. So I think Leone could have really I think Rio could have really got at him, and we had no attack in the second half. At the end, we were toothless. I think he could have made a difference, and he still had a substitute. We only brought 4 subs on. Like, he could have brought one more on. I find that one a bit odd that he didn't give him 10 minutes. Could have made a difference. But he didn't. We lost on pens. Some non-related Liverpool stuff. Monaco were looking at Kieran Trippier, so more Newcastle players could be leaving. Told you about this Newcastle team. Also, Belieber. Planning new talks for Belieber in the next coming days. 112 million Manchester United are potentially looking to bid to get Belieber. Rumours are that Brighton want more because they've got to give 20% to Lille. So they want more. Brighton want to make a lot of money off this guy. And then also IndyCar saying that Rodrigo's demanding 290k a week to make the switch, which is probably the reason why Arsenal pulled out, and it's probably the reason why Tottenham aren't going to get anywhere near this one either. If you think about it, he wants 290 million. He wants 290,000 a week tax free, which means his wages are going to be over 500 grand. That's how much he's going to be earning to come over to play in the Premier League. And they want 100 million euros minimum for him. That's like 82 million quid. So the numbers have suddenly jumped up on Rodrigo, like drastically jumped up. So it's a case of, well, hang on a minute. What really is going on here? Like, they have serious interest in him. They've made inquiries about the player, and the deal could very well happen. Okay, well, if you get rid of Jack Grealish, who's on 300 grand, you get rid of that money. Maybe you can put that over to Rodrigo. You get rid of Savinho, who's probably on about 150 grand. Okay, so you probably recuperated the wages, and then you sell Savinho for what, 50 million, and then you also want, I think they want 12 million for Grealish for the year. That's 62 million. That's getting closer to the 82, which means that Manchester City are doing some jiggery pokery with wages and transfer money, which means that could very well happen. And if Rodrigo ends up at Manchester City on that wing, that's a different winger than Savinho, and that's definitely a different winger than Jack Grealish. That's a worry. That's a worry for me. I feel that one's a worry. That puts them in a different place. That puts them in a much different place, if you ask me, if they get him. Just like if Arsenal get Eze, that puts Arsenal in a different place with Eze. That puts them a lot closer to Liverpool than we all think. Also, just wanted to mention that, like, just a little bit about these guys. It wasn't the result they wanted, but there were positive signs for Liverpool's new boys. Hugo Ekitike and Jerome Frimpong scored their first goals for the club, while Florian Wirtz provided his first assist. It was the first time two players have scored on their Liverpool debut in the same game since August 2006. While Frimpong became the first defender to score on his Liverpool debut since Virgil van Dijk in 2018. Florian Wirtz, meanwhile, created the most chances in a match for, and looks like he will be a brilliant player for Arne Slot's side. And by losing on penalties, they have avoided the Community Shield curse, with the 4 of the last 6 runners-up going on to win the Premier League title that season. That is a really interesting stat, by the way. That one at the end. 4 of the last 6 runners-up went on to win it. Runners-up went on to win it. And this is what I wanted to show you. Is this. Where is it? 2 seconds. This is from James Pearce. Blessing in disguise. Have Liverpool avoided the Community Shield jinx? Only one team has won the league. Only one team has won the league. Do you see that? Manchester City. Only one team has done it. Every other team has fell short. It's really weird. It's a really weird one for me. Like, it really is. I never really thought of it like that. But it's crazy that the previous 14 winners of the curtain raiser have gone on. Only one of the 14 winners have gone on to win the Premier League. It's mad. That is a mad stat. Like, you can't ignore something like that because it's crazy. It's crazy. What else have I got? I've got more stuff for you here. Hang on. I've also got this as well. I don't know how true this is, but I also wanted to show you this. That Chelsea are looking at Canate as a potential replacement for Colwell. Like, I don't know how true that is. That could just be a load of tosh. It really could. But that's coming from a Spanish outlet, I believe. The Savinho one is genuinely true. Like, David Ornstein's talking about the Savinho deal, so that could well happen with Tottenham. Like, so don't rule that one out at all. 50 million. I also wanted to show you this. So, Nicholas Jackson has confirmed that he wants to leave Chelsea. So, I think that's going to move pretty quickly, which is why I believe the Isaac deal will happen soon. And the next 72 hours is important. Like, it is important because if Nicholas Jackson's going to go to Newcastle, and this is from the Telegraph, by the way. This is from the Telegraph. Nicholas Jackson's transfer preference: prefer to go to Arsenal. Prefer to go to Newcastle if he leaves. Then this makes a big difference for us. It really does. Because then we get a free run on Isaac. And they'd have got their guy, basically. It also means that Savinho going to Tottenham also kind of rules out Elliott. So I think Elliott is probably the only club that he's probably going to get a look at now is probably Leipzig. But we need Xavi Simons to move to Chelsea, but Chelsea keep on trying to offer them players, and they're not interested. Chelsea are also trying to offer Manchester United players for Garnacho, but Manchester United need the money. So that's going to be an interesting one, and this is going to rumble on for a couple more weeks. I think this is going to rumble on for about another 2 weeks. So Leipzig want Nkunku. So if Leipzig get Nkunku, then the price will go down for Xabi Simons, which means that they might not offer as much money. But Leipzig did just get a load of money off Manchester United for Sesko, so that could be one that develops. But we definitely want to move Harvey Elliott on. He was dreadful in that game as well when he came on as a sub. He was dreadful. What else have we got for you? A couple of things. Chelsea are also looking at Hincapié. That's an interesting one. I'm not sure they'll sell Hincapié though. They've already lost Wirtz, Frimpong, Jonathan Tah, Granit Xhaka. They've lost like loads of players. I'm not sure they're gonna sell Hincapié as well. Like, I'm just not sure that one's gonna happen. Also wanted to bring this up as well, which is really interesting, about Gravenberch's dad. Gravenberch's father on son's experience at Bayern Munich. I think if we've not been there with him, he would have landed in a depression. The whole Bayern adventure never worked out like he expected. When I look at him now at Liverpool, I have to say, in all honesty, that he has gone from hell to heaven. That is a damning indictment on Bayern Munich. Like, Gravenberch was at hell at Bayern Munich. He must have hated his time there. Like, that's not a good look for Bayern. Like, that's not a good look for Bayern, if you ask me. So this is the Fabrizio stuff about Leone. Parma won 34.6 million. I just don't think Liverpool are going to spend that money when we offered 29 million for Guehi. I think if we offer 35 million, we'll get Guehi. I just think he's too expensive. Like, I'm sorry. I just think we step away from that one. Liverpool aren't going to spend 35 million on an 18-year-old when we won't spend 35 million on a proven 24-year-old who's an England international. This is from Fabrizio today as well. Liverpool feel they are absolutely ready to present a new bid for Alexander Isak after one rejected by Newcastle. But to send that bid, they want to feel encouragement. Newcastle need to show us that this bid isn't going to be rejected. But I think it's just a waiting game, and I think they need to get someone in the door. And this was an interesting one from the Chronicle, which has basically done a complete U-turn. So Lee Ryder, who said that he's not for sale, and then all of the media outlets then said Isak deal collapses, which is hilarious. What must follow is a heftier bid. So he's now changed his mind completely from not for sale, the deal's collapsed. There's been talk of 150 million, but others on the agent circuit have suggested that 130 million plus add-ons may yet offer a breakthrough. Well, you've changed your tune, haven't you, mate? You've changed your tune. So 125 plus add-ons will probably get you Isak now. Let's see what happens. It was never going to be easy. It was never going to be easy to get one of the most sought-after players in world football out of the club. It was never going to be easy. And this was from James Pearce. James Pearce isn't poo-pooing Isak or Guehi, by the way, which is all you need to know. Yeah? Guehi is seen as a perfect addition to the Liverpool squad. There you go. Don't worry. Don't worry. We are getting the rest of the people that we need. Don't worry. Don't worry, Liverpool fans. Honestly. The club know what they're doing. And I thought this was touching as well. That's the agent of Ekitike. He was in the crowd crying when Ekitike scored. Which is nice. And he might have been crying because he looked at his bank balance. Because he made a shit ton of cash. Also, Liverpool are playing their 4th Community Shield in the last 7 years. As many as the previous 28 years combined. So that's just how well Liverpool are as a club, continually getting to the Community Shield final. Yeah. That was the 4th time we played in 7 years. Okay, not great results. Yeah. We got beat by Man City. We got beat by Arsenal. And then we beat Man City. But then we finished 5th, remember. The curse is there. The curse is real. Arsenal beat us and finished 2nd. Manchester City beat us. And I think we beat them in the league. So, the curse is real. For me, the curse is real. I love a conspiracy anyway, you know that. What else have we got for you? I also think we probably need to talk about this. So there's a couple of things that I want to show you before we jump into this. Okay. So one of them is this, and I talked about this on another show, which people just aren't recognizing that we need to be careful with Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah now. Like, we genuinely need to be careful with these two players. And I know a lot of people are sat there going, oh no, they're fine, they're gonna play every game, they're gonna be great. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not going to be great. Because they have played more minutes than any other player in the big 5 leagues in the last 10 seasons. These two guys have played so much football, it is unreal. Like, Mo Salah is nearly 300 minutes ahead of Dan Parajo, whoever he is. Yeah, and he's over 1,000 minutes. Or he's not actually 1,000 minutes. He's about 400 minutes ahead of Harry Kane. And then you got Virgil van Dijk that's done 26,000 minutes. Like, they're in the top 10 of the most minutes played. And they're playing this in Jurgen Klopp football. Griezmann isn't. Xhaka isn't. Martin de Roon isn't. None of these guys are playing Jurgen Klopp football. But Mo Salah is and Virgil van Dijk is. We have to be so careful how we manage these players for this season. And I said this on Brian's show earlier on Anfield Irishman. I honestly believe that we are future-proofing with Guehi and potentially Florian Wirtz. I feel like we are potentially future-proofing, or Frimpong to a certain extent. We're future-proofing Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk. And it might be their last season at Liverpool. It could be their last season. And then we sell them to Saudi for mega bucks because they'll still have a year left on their contract. And I know people want them to stay forever, and I get it. But I do feel there's going to be a drop-off. Virgil van Dijk is 35. Like, Mo Salah's 33. Like, there's going to be a drop-off. They can't keep on playing Premier League football and Champions League football at the highest level continuously forever. It's not going to happen. And we need to be really careful with them. And that's why we need to get Mark Wahe in, who can play on the left side, and come and do a brilliant job on Virgil's side, because Virgil isn't going to play every game. And then Mo Salah. And this is why I still think Barcola is definitely a player that Liverpool are looking at, because he can play on the right-hand side. And you've also got Slot talking about Frimpong. Like, Frimpong can do a job. Like, he could do a job. And if you look at the way we play now, Mo Salah doesn't get his 50 touches every game. Mo Salah got 23 touches in the final, in the Community Shield final. He got 23 touches. And this is what we need to think about. We need to think about the players that have been doing the hard yards for so long, like 10 seasons. 10 seasons. What's that? Vinny Junior City? What? No, not Manchester City aren't signing Vinicius Junior. They are not signing Vinicius Junior. Hang on. I need to check this. 2 seconds. No, there's no Vinny Junior stuff. There's no Vinny Junior stuff. Well, there's no Vinny Junior stuff. Russell, it doesn't matter about aerial dominance, mate. If you look at the game against Palace, Mark Wahe won a lot of his headers. Like, Mark Wahe won a lot of his headers. It's definitely Rodrigo. It's definitely Rodrigo. Oh, was Indy done a bomber? Hang on. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Really? Okay, I've got to share this because this is a bomber. I don't think it's real though, by the way. Indy's definitely going for clickbait now, isn't he? He's got to be going for clickbait with this one. Okay, so let me make this bigger. Exclusive. Vinicius Junior looks like he's been in secret talks with Manchester City. The Real Madrid star is considering a move away from Real Madrid. The player does have concerns with the uncertainty surrounding those 115 charges against Manchester City. It's no surprise he's weighing his options just in case. The Manchester clubs, Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea, are monitoring the situation. The player is very keen on the Premier League for this or next summer. So it's not this year. It's not this year. It's not this year for me. Sorry. I think he'll be next. I think if he goes, he'll be next year. I also think he'll probably just sell out and he'll go to Saudi early. I just think he'll follow the bag. There's a lot about Vinny that just makes me a bit ill. I think he's a really, really nasty individual that you probably don't want in your team. Like, I just think he is. Like, there's a lot to not like about him. This is going to be the guy that goes. I think if City get someone from Real Madrid, it's going to be Rodrigo. If they get rid of Grealish, McAtee and Savinho, I mean, there's your money. Like, they're trying to get like 30 million for McAtee, 40 million for McAtee, and they get 40, 50 million for Savinho. There's your money. And then all those wages add up to his. There's your wages. I think Rodrigo goes to City then. That'll be it. Like, that'll literally be it, done. Like, he goes to City, then they're all right back in it. Like, they are so back in it. Okay, so I wanted to share that, but then I wanted to have this conversation. This is a conversation I really didn't want to have, but I think we need to talk about it. And it's a real thing. Mo Salah is not a player we can rely on in finals. Mo Salah's not that guy. Okay, Mo Salah is an incredible athlete and he's an incredible player, longevity-wise, in the league and potentially in other games. But my God, does this guy let you down in finals? Like, he is not a final player. Like, he's lost the AFCON, lost the Champions League. He scored 2 penalties in all of his finals. And he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's had 12 finals and he scored 2 goals and they were penalties. I'm sorry, but Mo Salah's got a bit of a curse in finals for me. I know, it is weird. He is a flop in finals. Like, it is crazy. It's crazy that he is that guy, but he is that guy. Like it's there, plain to see. Like, it's plain to see. Like, lost the Community Shield, lost the League Cup final, lost the League Cup final before that, lost the Europa Champions League final, lost the FA Cup final. Didn't lose them, but he didn't score. Community Shield, he scored, penalty. AFCON final, nothing. Club World Cup final, didn't score. Super Cup final, didn't score. Like, seriously? Like, it's crazy. It is crazy. It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? He could, you know. Look, all we know right now is the only negatives I can give on Arnie Slot is we've been shit at penalties. Like, we've been shit at penalties. Like, we have. Like, we've missed quite a few penalties in games, and we've missed a hell of a lot of penalties in penalty shootouts. Like, that's the only negative I can give him. That's it. Just work on your penalties a bit more, like, for Arnie Slot. And I'm still confused why Harvey Elliott took a penalty when you've got Virgil van Dijk stood there, who's been banging him in, banging free kicks in and everything in training. And to be honest, do you think you should have stepped up for one because you had an absolute shit show of a game? Maybe you should have put one in the top bin to kind of prove that, like, oh, sorry about the crap performance I just gave you. But it's mad. It's mad. Those numbers for Mo are mad. Like, mad numbers. Like, scary. Like, not the guy for your final. Like, might be worth dropping him for the final, or maybe having him on the bench, because I ain't relying on him in a game because he's been stinky in all the finals. So Fabrizio Romano has just dropped a bomber. Fabrizio Romano's just done a bomber. Hang on. You might like this one. Okay, so Fabrizio Romano has just said, my prediction is that Liverpool will sign Giovanni Leone from Parma. Liverpool are really considering internally to him. That's a bomber. That's a bomber. I think that's a bomber. Are we saying that's a bomber? Fabrizio Romano. My prediction is that Liverpool will sign Giovanni Leone. I think we can probably use that as a bomber. And that's right, that's just happened now. Okay, so that's fresh. Have I got another one for you as well? I have got another one for you, which is around Federico Chiesa. Let me share this one. So, Carlo Ludice, Liverpool have told Federico Chiesa that they are not planning to sell him at the moment, specifically after the number of sales up front. The situation could potentially change if Isaac is brought to the club, but at the moment he's non-transferable. Okay, so if Isaac comes in, then Chiesa goes. So if Chiesa's sold, then we 100% know that Isaac is arriving. Okay, it's half a bomber. Is it a bomber or is it half? It's a bomber. Okay, we're having it as a bomber. Okay. Well, that's good news. That's BS. What else have we got? What's that? Fab going out on a limb. Yeah, I know. Fab is going out on a limb there. It's a weird one, isn't it? Remember the Champions League final against Spurs? I was just so relieved that we won it in the end, but Spurs were similarly terrible in that game, luckily. I mean, to be honest, mate, we got a penalty when we shouldn't have got a penalty because the Sissoko handball was not a handball. I'm sorry. Like, the guy wasn't even looking at the ball. Like, we were lucky. Tottenham outplayed us in that game, by the way. Tottenham outplayed us without Harry. Well, they did have Harry Kane, but he was like on one leg. But we were dreadful in that game, but we still won it. But down to basically Divock Origi. Not Mo Salah. Divock Origi won us that game. What else have I got for you? I haven't got much else left. So I wanted to quickly, not quite here we go, La, but it is a little bit here we go. Get me Barcone and Isaac, mate. So let's have a quick look at the upcoming games, yeah? So we've got Bournemouth at home. We've got Newcastle away as our second game. Does anybody think that Isaac will play in that game? Does anybody think that Isaac will play in that Newcastle-Liverpool game away? And I mean for us. I mean for us, not Newcastle. Yeah. And then we've got Arsenal at home. Like the first 3 games, like Bournemouth at home would have been a tough game if they'd have had all of their backline from last season, but they haven't now. So I feel like the Bournemouth game will win that one. Newcastle away will be interesting. That will be an interesting game. Then Arsenal at home, Burnley away, Everton at home, Crystal Palace again, but that's away. Then you've got Chelsea away, and then you've got Manchester United, and then Brentford, and then Villa. First 10 games are tricky. There are some tough games in there. I will run through these games in another show, and we can have a look at how many points we think we're going to get out of them. Okay. And then finally, before we head off, I wanted to show you this. for a start. Bob Paisley. The result of the Charity Shield means nothing to me. As long as someone would say, you'll be in it next year. Bob Paisley. It's the nail on the head for me. And then the final thing I wanted to go through was this one. Everybody's banging on about money, how much we've spent. Here's the numbers. Arsenal, 200 million in, 4.3 million out. Arsenal have spent 195 million this season. Chelsea, 256 million spent, 154 million sold. Chelsea have spent 100 million. Liverpool, 266 million spent, 202 million sold. Liverpool's net spend is 64 million. Manchester City, 159 million spent, 5 million sold. 154 million Manchester City have spent. Manchester United, 214 million spent, 0 sales. Spurs, 120 million spent, 18 million sold in Heung-min Son, 100 million net spend. I just want to make this completely clear to everybody. We have spent the least money than any other top 6 team in the Premier League. The least money. Everybody else has spent more than us. Chelsea are cooking the books. I don't disagree. Like, Chelsea are literally selling players to themselves and all kinds of mad shit. I know that. I totally get that. But if we go and buy Alexander Isak for 130 million, 125 million cash, and then we go and buy Mark Guehi, you do realise we've only spent around the same amount as Manchester United. You do realise we'd have only spent about the same as Manchester United, and we still haven't sold Harvey Elliott, Kostas Tsimikas, potentially Federico Chiesa, and maybe even Ben Doak. So we still haven't sold those players, and we'd have only spent about 220 million, and we'd have got Isak and Guehi and all the other players that we bought because of the way we sold. That is astounding. That is quite astounding. And there's loads of talk that Liverpool could spend 500 million and still be in the green. Well, we'd have only spent about 220 million. So we've still got another 250 million that we could flex if we really wanted. We know exactly what we're doing. This is the shakedown. It was always going to be a shakedown for Isak. We were never going to pay 150 million. We were never going to pay 150 million. If we pay 150 million for Isak, then we pay 150 million for every player we try and sign. Because teams are just going to jack the price up because they know we'll be ripped off. They know we'll accept to be ripped off. That's not how we work. It's not how we work. We'd have never paid 83 million for Sesko. We've never paid 72 million for Mbuemo. We never have done that. It's not how we work. They're playing a blinder. You're absolutely right. And it might take a little bit longer. It might take right to the end of the window till we get Guehi for 35 million. But that's what it takes. At the end of the day, we've still got Mark Guehi. And in all intents and purposes, he's not going to be a starter. So he can come in at the last day of the window if he wants. because he's only going to be on the bench. And then you got the likes of Alexander Isak. Yeah, you pay 125 million on the last day of the window. I don't care, because we will own Alexander Isak. And after we play Bournemouth, maybe he's fine to play in the Newcastle game or come off the bench for 20, 30 minutes. Because Eddie Howe said he's match fit. Eddie Howe said he hasn't got an injury. So we just need to be patient. And there's a lot to like about Liverpool right now. There is a lot to like about Liverpool. If we get Leone, then we get Leone. But I still think we get Guehi. And at the end of the day, if you want to know how good he is, just watch the Palace game at Wembley. He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. He went off with cramp. He was brilliant in that game. There's a lot to like about him. And he can play on the left, play on the right. Leone is an 18-year-old kid coming from Italy. That is a worry. I'm sorry. That is a project. That is a worry. He's a guy that you're getting as a fourth choice. He's not the guy you're getting as a third choice. So for me, it has to be Guehi and it has to be Isak. And if you add them up with the money that we've spent already, you're looking at a £220 million spend this window. That's around what Manchester City would have spent. That's around what the likes of Manchester United have spent. That's not that far away from what Arsenal have spent. If Arsenal go and get Eze, then they'll be looking at 250 million, 260 million spend. Liverpool have done things the right way, and we need to be grateful of that. And I'm excited. Like, I've seen 4 brilliant players that when they settle into the Liverpool team and they start playing more football, we're going to cook. We are going to cook. Ekatike is going to get goals. Wirtz is going to get goals. Frimpong's going to score more goals. I'm so excited about it. And we get Isak and Guehi through the door in the next 2 weeks. And we are sailing to the title. Sailing to the title. Domination by Liverpool, honestly. Anyway, you all have a great evening. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Am I going to hang on for 5 more minutes for a Indy Calais? Because for some reason, I think Indy Calais, that tweet he did was probably the tweet. So I'm not sure he's going to do another one. So I think I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, so Tottenham still may bid for Eze. Manchester City now have a serious interest in Rodrigo. Savinho wants to play every game, which is why he wants to go to Tottenham. That would be interesting if Eze goes to Tottenham, because Tottenham have clearly got money. It's only 5 minutes. Okay, I will wait 5 minutes, yeah, but someone drop some memberships. Someone drop some memberships for some people. Come on. Someone do some charity. Either drop some memberships or I want 2 more scans of the QR code. All right, that's the deal for an extra 5 minutes. Okay, for an extra 5 minutes. All right, that's the deal. Someone drop some memberships or I want some more QR code scans. So let's do it. Who's gonna QR scan it? 2 more. Come on, 2 more. I've had 3 so far today on this show. Can we get 2 more QR code scans, please? Download the app. Go on, and I will wait another 5 minutes. Okay, that's the deal. That's the deal. All right, come on. Come on, someone take a photo. Someone take a QR code scan. You can do it. Okay, that's one. That's one. Someone took it. Brilliant. Salute you. One more. And then I'm sticking around for the next 5 minutes. Okay. One more. Or drop some memberships for the members. Drop some memberships for the members, because nobody's dropped any memberships on this show today. Or super chats. Come on. Brilliant. Someone else has just done it. Salute you. That's five scans. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's wait around. And also 3 more likes. Yeah, you're right. 3 more likes. 3 more likes, people. That was my message, was it? Big up, James. We all live outside the UK. Okay, well, if you live outside the UK, then that's fair enough. But you can still drop memberships. You can't get away from that one. Edward, you can still drop memberships. You can still become a member. So you can become a member then if you live outside the UK. That's fine. It's Hogwarts. Yeah, we're going to play some Hogwarts in a bit. Yeah, we're going to play some Hogwarts. We're up to the where I've just learned how to do Levioso. Where I've just sneaked into the library, to the restricted section of the library, and I've read the book. So we're up to that bit. Oh, big up, huge anus. That is amazing. Huge anus for the memberships. That is amazing. And also Kate Stanford, thank you very much for becoming a member. That's brilliant. Hugh Janus. Yeah, is that your real name? Of course, that's your real name. That is brilliant. Me too, mate. Me too. That is brilliant. Honestly. Okay, let me do a refresh and see if we've got any IndyCar updates. Right. No, we haven't got any. Let me see. No, it's still Vinny. It's still the Vinny updates. I don't know whether there's going to be any Liverpool ones. Let me just let me check my source. Let me check my source. Have I got anything from my source? So Days in Football are also saying that Days in Football are also saying that that Leone is looking like he could be choosing Liverpool, which is really interesting. Dominic Calvert-Lewin sacked his agent, just if you wanted to know about that. Also, Alisson's been nominated for the 2025 Yassine Trophy. But I don't see any. I don't see any more stuff. I'm just going to quickly see what Fabrizio's posted in the last couple of minutes, because remember, Fabrizio posts consistently. Also, Bayer Leverkusen are looking at Loic Bald, who's a guy that we looked at as well. If they do get him, then maybe they do sell Hincapié to Chelsea. That would be interesting. Malik Thor is completed his medical, so Malik Thor is a Newcastle player. That's a here we go soon. And Jack Grealish has completed his medical at Everton, so he's on loan with a £50 million buy option, which Everton will never take. And Zabani has also completed his medical at Paris Saint-Germain. And Belieber is keen on the Manchester United move, but Brighton will not sell. And I've also got to say, like, this is something I definitely wanted to speak about eventually, is how on earth does the Men in Blazers get so many high profile people on it? Like, it's not even that big. Like, that channel's not even a huge channel. Like, it hasn't got like 500,000 followers. Like, how does that Men in Blazers get so many high profile people on it? Like Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, like Arnie Slot's been on it like twice. Like Fabrizio Romano's on it as well, like tonight or yesterday. Like, I don't get it. Like, it hasn't got millions of followers. It's only got like 100 and something thousand followers, I think. I don't know how that Men in Blazers is so big. Like, is the guy a millionaire and he's like paying them? Like, it's weird. It's really weird. Like, I watched it and I've gone, how have you got an interview with Mo Salah? Like, nobody gets an interview with Mo Salah. Like, nobody. They must have some connections, I know. You're right. Like, but they haven't got many viewers. Like, I find that one really, really odd. I've stayed for another 5 minutes and I don't see any. There's no news from Indy. I'm sorry. Has he pinned anything? No, he's just pinned the Vinny stuff. Oh, he has actually done an update on Belieber. So Brighton wants 90 million plus 10 million in add-ons for Carlos Belieber, and Manchester United only value him at 70 million. And Brighton want around 112 million for Belieber. Belieber's not going to Manchester United, I'm sorry. Like, and even if he does go to Manchester United, what is he going to do? Like, he's not going to change Manchester United. Like, the system is the reason why they're not good. Like, the system, like, they basically play Bruno Fernandes in so many different roles that they don't get the best out of the rest of the midfielders. It's weird. His content isn't even. He's an Everton fan as well. That's weird. Like, I get it. Like, he's a nice guy, but like, how on earth do you get interviews with Arnie Slot and Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk? Like, how on earth do you get those interviews? Like, you obviously have to be able to contact them. And he does like 30-minute interviews with them, and they're not even great interviews, if I'm completely honest. Like, they're not. Like, anyway, it is what it is. Sorry, Indy hasn't dropped anything at 10:30 about Liverpool, but he's obviously talked about Vinny Jr., which I think is just a load of crap. I'm sorry, it's a load of crap. You all have a wonderful evening. I'm now going to forward you on to another channel. 2 seconds. Let me just see who's online. There's over 150 of you in here. I appreciate you for joining. If you hit the like and subscribe on the way out, that would be amazing. Who is live right now? I think I'm going to send you. I mean, I've sent. Yeah, I mean, look, I've sent loads of people over to Coppish before, and no, I'm not sending people over to Coppish. Okay, so there's 136 of you here. I'm going to send you over to 12th man, Liverpool 12th man. Okay, he's talking about Liverpool. Stay for a little bit, please. Stay for a little bit, and just see if you enjoy the show. He's got 10 people in there. Okay, if you can do anything, just hit the like and then leave if you're not enjoying the show. But I'm going to send you over to Liverpool 12th man, okay? He's a friend of mine. We're all in the same boat, providing content. If you can go and drop a like and stick in KMack Raid. Oh, Tom Little's live as well, actually. Why does Tom Little have to be live? No, I'm sending you over to 12th man, okay? All go over to 12th man. If you want to leave after a couple of minutes, do that, okay? But just drop a KMack Raid in there and just like his video and leave if you're not interested. But show your support, okay? Tom's celebrating his 18th birthday. Oh, for God's sake, Tom, why do you have to be live now? I'm sending you over to 12th man. I've done it now. Okay, so go and drop a big up on there. Okay, yeah. So just go and say hello to him and put KMack Raid in there, and just like his video and leave. Okay, if you're not interested, but we're all in the same boat. So go and support his channel. I will catch up with you all tomorrow. Okay. If there's any more new news, then I'll go early in the afternoon. But if not, then you'll probably see me at night again. You all have a good evening. Take care, good night, and thank you very much for all the people that scanned the QR code. And 21 for 20, 2 for Jota,